adopted at your grandma's room. Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? It is Thursday afternoon, and we are going to get into what is called public domain horror. But before we do that, we have a little bit of housekeeping to do. First order of business is to let you guys know that, let me take this down. Here we go. And put this back up. Our last week's video was taken down. Someone was detected at your grandma's room. Only for a couple days due to copyright. I did file a dispute and they ruled in my favor, so the video is back up. So if you want to watch us talk about gory, ultra-violent action movies, starting with the 80s on up to some of the most current ones that are happening in Indonesia and India and USA and co-productions with Japan, go back and check out that video. Again, that's gory, ultra-violent action. That was our video from last Thursday. It is back up and able to be viewed. Also, last night I did a I would say 2.5 hour almost stream where we broke down Sinners with the Scream Kings and the Scream Queens. It was an excellent conversation, lots of fun. Plus we played a drinking game and we had a special guest. So definitely check out our Sinners review on the Scream Kings channel or on my channel. We also simulcast it with In Love with Horror, double feature horror podcasts. We had a ball. So definitely make sure you're subscribed to all those channels and check us out. Now let's get back into what we call public domain horror. And I'm sure you're going to ask, what is public domain horror? Well, let's first talk about what is public domain. The term public domain refers to creative materials that are not protected by intellectual property laws, such as copyright, trademark, or patent laws. The public owns these works, not an individual author or artist. Anyone can use a public domain work without obtaining permission, but no one can ever own it. So what we're seeing in recent years is a rise of horror films that are based around characters that are now in the public domain, meaning that the trademark, copyright, or patent for these characters has expired. So no one owns these characters. However, did you know that this is the second wave of these public domain horrors? Because we actually had a wave in the 90s. TonyMan, do you remember any of these movies from the 90s, or were these both new, the ones that we're about to talk about?
Yes.
To you.
And hello, and how are you today?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm great. Well, I didn't want to interrupt your whole spiel that you were going on too. But anyways, yes, I do remember them. Rumpelstiltskin and the Pinocchio's Revenge.
Mm-hmm.
I do remember both of those.
Well,
And
we have just recently well, I shouldn't say rewatched. For me, it was a first time watch for both of these, and I cannot believe I hadn't seen either of these movies, but I remember why. It was because I was in college in Florida when these came out, and I just wasn't watching a lot of movies during that time that were
yeah,
direct to video.
I
So,
do believe. I'm sorry. I do believe that Pinocchio's Revenge.
mhm.
I think I watched it because of the
Oh, you
Chucky.
dropped out. You believe Pinocchio's Revenge? What?
I am I still am I good?
Now you're good. Try,
All right.
try.
I have to
Go
wait.
ahead.
No, I watched Pinocchio's Revenge because of Chucky. Child's Play.
Oh, that makes sense. Um, I was gonna say there was a connection, but no, there's not a connection to those two movies that I know of.
I really thought that we watched Pinocchio's because when I saw how much it rang true to me, I thought that we might have you and I might have watched it because it came out in '96 and '99 it would have been 3 years old, and we were on a binge of watching Ragdoll and like other doll horror movies.
Yeah,
So I
that
figured
was
we.
that was in the year 2000.
Oh, okay. Well, sorry.
What? No, it's okay. I was listening for your microphone because it's still going in and out. I don't know whether that is the internet or whether that's your microphone though. Say something
That's
again, just so we can do a mic check.
a mic check. 1 2 1 2.
Okay, now it seems to have fixed itself. Okay. Well, let's get into the 90s public domain of it all.
I almost did Tribe Called Quest.
Oh, yeah.
Is told of an evil creature that feeds on the souls of children.
No, not my baby!
And the only way to destroy him
Kill the little monster!
is to call out his name.
Rumpelstiltskin. You know my name. Rumpelstiltskin!
But what was once a fairy tale has now come true. Transformed by an ancient spell, he has come from the past.
The hell are you?
To bring his curse upon the present. And now he must steal a newborn child.
Where's the baby?
That his evil may live forever. Rumpelstiltskin.
This ain't no fairy tale.
Okay, let's talk about Rumpelstiltskin for a minute first. I'm actually regretting not watching this one first. We actually watched Pinocchio's Revenge first and then watched Rumpelstiltskin. But Rumpelstiltskin was a better movie to me.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I didn't mind it. It was alright. It's just I took notes, by the way.
Well, what are your notes?
Where do you want me to start? You want me to grab the notes and start going? Because I wrote a couple questions.
Yes, just start. You know this is a podcast, right?
Yeah, I know that. Well, I'll stop for a second because my phone shut off. Oh, here it goes. Never mind, it was working again. I said, yo, the dude keeps getting fucked up. I love the remembering hand though, giving the finger, because all he did was get fucked up.
Yeah, he did.
By the Rumpelstiltskin dude. He just kept he got hit by a car twice.
Mm-hmm. He got set on fire.
And then And then I put, what the
fuck?
Arm
ripped off. He got a knife in his forehead.
And then one of my other one was, what the fuck? Rumpelstiltskin riding a motorcycle and wearing sunglasses and gets picked up on a bike.
He also
That
stole
was funny.
the motorcycle dude's boots.
Oh yeah,
He
that's
stole his
right. He
bike,
did.
his
There's a
boots,
picture
and
right
his
there.
sunglasses. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the picture's right there. Yep. And then,
And
by the way,
some of the lines were funny because the woman was like, that Rumpelstiltskin said to her, "Well, you have to, in order to save yourself, you got to know my name." And she was like, "Stupid little fucking." That's what she called him, or a bastard or something.
Yeah, even in this movie, we had to have an unnecessary explosion because there was no reason for that boat to blow up.
Well, in the 80s and the 90s, you have to have explosions for your movie to be interesting.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense. And then put I said the hero dude was irritating as fuck. Like he really was.
Your mic is going out again. Say that again.
Are you? That's not your internet. Because I can hear myself.
I don't know. I have all the bars are up. It's not saying that I have any problem.
I
Tom
don't know.
Baker's here says good poster. He hasn't seen it yet. Paul Draws is in the house.
Someone was detected at
Do you have any other notes on Rumpelstiltskin?
I have a lot.
Go ahead.
I have a lot of notes. Hold on one second. I'm trying to make sure my mic's working right. How about now? Does it sound better?
Yeah, it's not breaking up.
Okay. Maybe it was the volume. Anyways, I put well, the truck, because the Rumpelstiltskin stole that truck and was driving an 18-wheeler, if you remember. And I put what kind of annoyed me was why didn't, when the annoying dude took the dune buggy and he was going down the road, that little buggy, why didn't he just cut it really hard to the right or left, shoot, across it? That truck would not have been able to catch up to him
at all, or go off road.
Yeah, and then of course I put why didn't, this is what I wrote, why didn't an annoying dude cut the wheel hard? And then I put and the truck crashes. Will it explode? Yes, it will. And then I said, why did the cop let the Rumpelstiltskin rip off his own head and still got bit?
Yeah, I didn't understand either why he ripped off his own head to bite the police officer. Like, why did you take your head off? Just because you could? I mean, it's a good effect.
Yeah, I put really good makeup though. Like the Rumpelstiltskin was good makeup.
Yeah, very good makeup.
Rumpelstiltskin takes a bunch of shots to the chest, snatches cop's gun, says "my turn," and blasts a cop off his feet into a wall. And yes, the pun was intended, by the way. It says, "Lady cop now trying to lay down the law. Out of the station she goes via the window. Why did she just use the door?" You get it. Because Rumpelstiltskin threw her ass out the window. I put, they escape in a yellow land yacht, aka a caddy. Because remember, they took off in a caddy. Okay, so this is where we get to the part that really kind of annoyed me. This is a graveyard scene. They were electric zombies. If you remember.
But don't forget he threw the glitter dust or whatever. He had this glitter dust. He threw that, and then the zombie came up out of the grave, and he was the zombie was easily killed.
He had electricity. Then it says, annoying dude traps Rumpelstiltskin in a flaming payloader and says, "Who's your daddy?" as he crashes into a random power pole in the graveyard as Rumpelstiltskin is on fire and electrifies him because the power pole says to him, "Oh, I know that hurt." And I put, this fucking dude. That was horrible. And then the last part, Rumpelstiltskin turns to either a rock or a glob of shit. Either way, it's annoying dude says,
it was like a statue. It was a statue.
Oh, it looked like a blob of shit.
I know at certain angles it did look like Dookie, but it was meant to be a statue of him crouching.
What was annoying was when he threw the rock, whatever it is, into the water, and he goes, "Rumpelstiltskin is out of there," like he's playing baseball.
Yeah, that character was really annoying.
He was. And then I just put the last part. I put 3 years later, kid finds the rock shit and shows mom. Room for a sequel? That's all I put.
They actually did want to do a sequel, but they couldn't get greenlit for a sequel.
I wonder why.
I do have some trivia for Rumpelstiltskin.
Oh,
This film was produced by Joe Ruby and Ken Spears, the original creators of Scooby-Doo for Hanna-Barbera and the founders of the 1980s animation company, Ruby Spears Productions. Joe Ruby shares a co-writer credit as well. It says at one point there was talks for a sequel in the 2010s. Despite the movie's failure, Paramount declined the offer, and the director suggested that they wouldn't have to put money in it, and he would finance the movie himself with a similar budget as the original movie, which the budget for this was $3 million. But they
wow.
still rejected the offer. Both Mark Jones and Max Grodenchik said they would love to do a sequel. When
They should.
Mark Jones completed a script, a friend of his knew Dino De Laurentiis, who could help finance the movie. But when he asked to read the script, he requested to translate it in Italian, despite being fluent in English. Now, another interesting thing about this is the director of this is Mark Jones, who was also the director of Leprechaun. The writer of Leprechaun. After finishing Leprechaun, Mark Jones wanted to create another fairy tale horror franchise similar to Leprechaun, which is why he didn't return to direct Leprechaun 2. Oh, so he did direct Leprechaun. I knew he wrote Leprechaun, but apparently he wrote and directed Leprechaun.
Oh,
Let me see what else. Mark Jones said that they made Rumpelstiltskin to also appeal to younger kids, ages 10, 11, and 12. Even though the
Wow.
R-rated film includes bloody violence and nudity, Jones found that younger audiences preferred horror movies with colorful characters like Rumpelstiltskin and his previous film, Leprechaun, over slasher movies. Yeah, let me see.
yeah, I could see that.
Director Mark Jones said in 2020 that he still wants to make a sequel. In fact, they recently went to Paramount, who co-owns the rights, to pitch the idea, but they said no, even though Jones told them that they wouldn't have to pay any funding. That's kind of like the same thing happening over and over again. Okay, unlike
You know what's
Leprechaun in 1993, which had a $980,000 budget and 24 days to shoot, this movie's budget was 3 times its budget at $3 million and 32 days to shoot. And at the same time,
You
the
know what
director expected his producer Dino De Laurentiis to be a tough sell.
Well, what I'm thinking right now is that maybe I didn't see it on VHS. This is loud. Maybe I didn't see it on VHS. Maybe I did see it in the dollar theater, because I did see it somewhere. I remember seeing it somewhere, but I just don't remember where.
Mm-hmm. Paul, I actually have some horror fairy tales a little bit later in this show as well. So I'm glad you mentioned
Yes.
that. Let's learn about horror fairy tales. And Tom says, strange how these things go. Mm-hmm. Let me see if there are any other interesting. Mark Jones took inspiration on a childhood show he used to watch called Shirley Temple's Storybook in 1958, which featured Rumpelstiltskin in the show, and that terrified him growing up. So that's where he got the impetus for Rumpelstiltskin. Very, very interesting stuff. They also did audition a few Little People actors, but the actor Max Grodenchik nailed the line reading. He's actually 5'6", but they had him kind of crouch down and have the hunchback to appear shorter than what he was. But I enjoyed it. I feel like I would rewatch this movie for fun.
Really?
I put it in the same category as like Leprechaun. I think it's up there with Leprechaun.
I
I think
would
it's
say
slept
this.
on. I think it's really slept on. I think I should do like a separate review of Rumpelstiltskin because I think it's slept on.
I think this would be a good prime. What do you call it? Bottom of the barrel.
I don't think it's that bad. I think Pinocchio's Revenge is worse, which we will be getting into. Tom says a sequel after all this time, he must be dreaming. Well, you'd be surprised. I mean, look at the recent Beetlejuice sequel after 30 years, I think. Let's get into Pinocchio's Revenge. Do you remember Big Mark when he came in?
Don't move!
What is that? What the hell have we got here, huh?
It was a bizarre piece of evidence in the trial of an accused child killer.
How could the man who made this have murdered his only child?
Evil comes in all shapes and sizes.
His lawyer believed he was innocent, but she couldn't stop his execution. Now, her daughter has been given something she was never meant to have.
Sorry, she spotted it before I could get it wrapped.
And the soul of a murderer may have found a new home.
Zoe's been having these horrible violent nightmares lately. Zoe, what are you doing up? Her therapist thinks she has a lot of repressed hostility.
Pinocchio can't become a real boy if you keep doing bad things.
What are you doing with this, sweetheart?
She's a very disturbed little girl.
He's protecting me from Pinocchio.
I know what evil looks like. I see it in the eyes of my clients, and I'm telling you, I don't see it in my daughter.
You have the power, Zoe.
Pinocchio can't hurt me.
Give me life. What do I have to do? Cut my strings.
All right. That was great.
This
I
one
think
was
you're
not
on mute.
entertaining.
Hey, the little girl actress was really good. I thought her. She's very captivating.
You thought it was captivating?
No, the little girl's acting was pretty good.
Yeah, she was good. I think she did an excellent job. She was probably the best part of the movie.
And Paul Draws says, "Oh, sorry, I forgot to click on it." But he says, "Oh, God, this movie."
Mm-hmm.
I guess he didn't like it either.
It was. I think it was definitely trying to capitalize off of Child's Play, even though it's a few years late, because Child's Play was 1988, and this one came out in 1996. But at the same time, in between those years, you had like Demonic Toys and Puppet Master, and there was a lot of doll movies, doll horror during that era as well. But this just didn't. I think it didn't hit because it was ambiguous at some points, and then it wasn't at some other points. Like there's parts of the movie where they want you to think that it's all in a little girl's head, like when the psychiatrist shows the mother that the recording of her talking to herself, and you don't hear the doll's voice, you only hear her voice. So that makes it seem like it's all in her head, which was the original concept for Child's Play, that they wanted it to they wanted you to initially believe that was all in Andy's head, but then they went for a more fun outcome, which I enjoy. With this, like you see scenes where Pinocchio's attacking the mother, and now it indicates that it's not in the little girl's head. So it's very confusing the way they did this movie.
Okay. I'm just going to say, I can't let you guys besmirch this movie because the ending was pretty cool. I'm sorry. It was a cool twist ending. But Pinocchio made me laugh, though, when it was, I can become a real boy. Just cut my strings. And she cut the strings. And you could tell it was a little person clearly running down the street. But then again, same thing with Chucky.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of that, a little bit of trivia. Vern Mini-Me Troyers, this was his debut film. He played Pinocchio in the movie.
Oh.
With Dick Beale dubbing over his voice. But that was Vern Troyer running down the street.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Do you
Tom Baker mentions the Revenge of Winnie the Pooh. Oh, I'm gonna get into that a little bit later. And then also, if Chucky was a beginner player, that would be Pinocchio Revenge. One kill, that's it. Yeah, pretty much. This
no,
trailer
there were
looks
more than one
older than
kill.
so this trailer looks older than 1996, more like 86. It does look like a movie that was made earlier and then shelved. I mean, that would be my guess to why it looked more 80s than 90s. You were about to say?
I thought there was more than one kill. Oh no, it was just the caretaker, right?
Yeah, I think just the boyfriend.
No, two then, two.
No, there were two because of the au pair, the boyfriend and au pair. So there were two kills.
Padra says the only gruesome I can remember this movie was the grasshopper's death.
Yes,
Hey.
the grasshopper. Hey, and Love with Horror is here. About to head to watch Until Dawn, but I wanted to pop in to say, hey, have a good stream. Thank you. And let us know. Well, I know you guys are probably going to do an out of the theater review. That would be awesome because I want to see Until Dawn as well. I want to see that in Hell of a Summer. I'm behind on movies. We're really being spoiled with horror this year. But y'all
You
also
have to play the game first, by the way.
Make sure you subscribe to In Love with Horror. They also do trailer reviews as well as movie reviews, out of the theater reviews. They really have an awesome channel and merch.
Oh.
You remember you met one half of them. We were up in Seattle.
Yes.
One of the people at the VIP dinner was one half of In Love with Horror. He was pretty cool.
Oh, okay.
Where was I? Oh, you.
I was just going to say. Yeah, I was going to say if you haven't played the game Until Dawn.
No, I haven't played the game. I did watch a little bit of playthrough on YouTube, so I watched someone else play it, and I watched the trailers for the games just so I'd have some familiarity of what the storyline is.
Okay.
I didn't watch the full playthrough because the full playthrough I believe is 6 hours to play through Until Dawn. Yeah. Or at least the person who recorded their playthrough, it took them 6 hours. And I didn't watch that one, but I did watch like a shorter one. So it looks very, very interesting to me. I mean, have you played the game?
Yeah. I played the trial version, but when on the PlayStation, they give you like a trial version. It's like the first level almost or something. I believe that was it. I didn't really get into it. I was playing Resident Evil 7. But I was going to say, you guys can besmirch it. Like I said, you guys can drag this movie through the mud, but that little girl's acting was better than that kid from Child's Play. That kid annoyed me the way he was talking.
I know you hate Andy. I like Andy. Andy's adorable.
Chucky, you are my friend. Yo, really? They had to be the same age, right?
This is the end, friend. No, because
that was
Andy is supposed to be in kindergarten, whereas this little girl is supposed to be at least in second grade. I think first or second grade.
Okay.
So there's a little bit of an age difference. Yeah, she did get bullied pretty bad. So it was cool. It was cool that Pinocchio was helping her with her bullies.
Yeah. Although come on, that little girl got hit by a bus.
No, she almost got hit by a bus. She fell
rolled under
between. Yeah, she fell underneath the bus, and a bus narrowly missed her. But the fear of being hit by a bus is enough to scare the heck out of you.
But the stick in the spokes, we've done that. We've done that to people. We've done that to ourselves. Like my cousin's done it to me, and it's not a fun thing when you flip.
In real life.
Oh yeah. Come on, we were kids.
There's another bit of trivia. This was written and filmed under the title The Pinocchio Syndrome, but for unknown reasons, Trimark retitled it Pinocchio's Revenge. When the film was completed, it was the director's intention to name it The Pinocchio Syndrome. Despite that, some international territories still released the film under its original intended title.
Sorry, I had it on mute. I was coughing.
So that is the only trivia I have about that. Tom Baker says, the only kid acting I ever hated was in Ender's Game. I have not seen Ender's Game. Now, someone brought up, I think it was Tom Baker again, about the other public domain horrors, which I want to get into the list before we go into our next set of movies that we're going to talk about. So let me bring this down and share my screen because I did compile a list. How do you like that?
I'm not surprised. You're very thorough.
Well, you know,
Very.
it's the Virgo in me. So I made a list according to release date of public domain horror movies. And of course, the first set I found were Rumpelstiltskin, Pinocchio's Revenge back in the 90s. And of course, as Paul mentioned earlier, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, I think kicked off this reemergence of public domain horror. And that came out in 2023. Found out there's also a horror film called Mary Had a Little Lamb. Then Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2. Then Goldilocks and the Three Bears, Death and Porridge.
That's
the Mouse
up
Trap.
too.
The
That's
Mouse
up
Trap.
too.
I saw the trailer for that. What you've seen these?
No, they're up. They're up on certain sites already.
Oh yeah, because
they
came out. They came out in 2024. These are all out for viewing. The Mouse Trap, Steamboat Willie, Blood on the Water. Then one we'll be discussing later, Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare, The Ugly Stepsister, Piglet, Mouse of Horrors, Popeye's Revenge, Shiver Me Timbers, which is also, I believe, Popeye theme. And then, who was it that said a sequel 20 years later? There is a Rumpelstiltskin movie that's coming out in 2025. I do not know if it's associated with the original. I'll come back to it in a moment. Popeye the Slayer Man, Mouseboat Massacre, Screamboat, The Mouse Trap, Welcome to the Mickeyverse, Pinocchio Unstrung,
Oh God,
Bambi the Reckoning, Mickey's
oh
Sleigh
my
House.
God.
Okay, and now we're getting into crossover movies. There's Poohniverse, Monsters Assemble, The Dark Domain, Mickey versus Winnie, and then
Jesus.
The Dark Domain, Mickey versus. Well, I guess this might be a double post. I think this is probably the official one, and this is not, so I'll probably remove that one from the list. But going back up to, I must have passed it. No, because it's Pinocchio's Revenge, and then here it is. I'm going to click on it and see what it says. It says, Miller lies about daughter's gold spinning ability. An imp helps her impress the king. She promises the imp her future child for continued aid. When payment comes due, the imp strikes a deal with the devil. So this, the director's Andy Edwards. That's no association with the other Rumpelstiltskin. So let's see what country also, because this may be a foreign feature. Let's see. Yes, UK. So no relation to the Rumpelstiltskin that we were just speaking about. What about the Pinocchio Pinocchio Unstrung? It's Rumpelstiltskin, Screamboat. There it is, Pinocchio Unstrung.
Hey, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
The Mickey versus Winnie the Pooh.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Are they gonna? When they fight, is one of them gonna get the other's outfit or part of their shirt? Because Mickey wears pants but no shirt, and Winnie the Pooh wears a shirt and no pants.
You know, I had not thought about that, but that would be funny.
I'm just thinking about it in my head because I just thought about it. Yeah.
Okay. Pinocchio Armstrong says, a dark reimagining of Pinocchio. This unsettling tale explores the eerie nature of the iconic puppet, blurring lines between reality and fantasy. Fun fact about Pinocchio, it was a dark fairy tale. At the end of Pinocchio, he ends up hung in a tree, deceased. It did not have a happy ending.
Damn.
Which a lot of these fairy tales originally do not have a happy ending. But let's get into our next set. Actually, I'm going to take a quick break, and then we'll get into our next set here. So give us 2 seconds, and we'll be right back. I feel like Chuck Woolery. We'll be right back in 2 and 2. There we go. All right, let's get
Very
into
nice.
a new public domain that we checked out this week.
Wakey, wakey. Peekaboo.
How did you get down there?
I'm Peter. It's nice to meet you.
When Timmy went missing, what do you remember?
He's close to Neverland, and he must act now to take the children with him.
It's time to collect.
Oi, freak! You gonna pay for that?
Hi, Peter. Do you know what I have?
Don't worry about Michael. I'm gonna take him to Neverland.
So if you need a hand...
Wow.
Who wants to come to Neverland with me? It's my duty to send the kids to Neverland and protect them from this world.
In a place where you can be a little boy for the rest of your existence.
Get them to me!
Marco? Hello. Marco? Hello.
Okay, so I found out something about this that I didn't know. This is Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmares is the third part of the Twisted Childhood Nightmare universe. The first two parts being Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, and Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2. And there's a couple Easter eggs in the movie. It says at one point in the movie, one of the characters, Mia, tells Wendy that she's going camping with her friends. The same actor appears in Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2, where herself, along with some others, are all killed while they are out camping, hinting that these movies are all connected and take place simultaneously. Also, when Joey is abducted by Peter, he can be seen wearing a Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey shirt, the first installment in the Frank Waterfield's Twisted Childhood universe. And then the last bit of trivia I have is, in the film, there's a scene where the character Michael, when captured by Peter Pan and locked in a room, is watching a black and white movie with a crocodile. This is paying homage to the original source material where there's a crocodile in the story who is the nemesis to Hook.
Yep.
Now, you can see on the image that I have there, this character that's at the bottom, that's Captain Hook. And the character at the top that is covered in blood is actually Tinkerbell. I'll have to explain a little bit. Well, before I do that, let's just talk about the movie in general, and then I'll come back to those characters. But it was very interesting because it had an odd feel to it. I don't know if that is intentional. So where the character of Peter Pan, it's almost as if you had combined Pennywise with Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs. Like that's the kind of weirdness I felt.
I'm sorry. No, I was going to say before. Oh, ahead.
I'm sorry. Let me get a few of these comments before you get going because there's a couple people that are about to leave. Our Belgian Prime Minister is nicknamed Pinocchio. That's funny. Marty checked in. He's saying just turning in for bed, but wanting to stop by to say hi. Hi, Marty, and we will see you tomorrow night because we will be on Voyage to the Bottom of the Barrel, which we'll be talking about werewolf bitches from outer space and Dracula, a vampire in Beijing tomorrow night at 9 p.m. at on Master Chaos channel. So we'll see Marty tomorrow night and also Jen's reviews from the grave. But I'll mention that again at the end of this And Tom Baker says, the Irish needs a lot of sleep. Well, it's late there. It's very late there. So it's probably like about midnight at least. Paul Jones, wasted Hook. Yes. Hook. Yeah. But you were about to say?
I was going to say that when we watched this movie,
Mm-hmm.
I got the ixnay from a couple people. Well, from you guys, because I said that this guy, if they were going to remake The Dark Knight, the dude that played Peter Pan would be a hell of a Joker, because he gave me like he could be Heath Ledger, just the way he was acting in the movie. I was like, this dude can be a hell of a Joker.
Yeah, he probably could have been. Yeah, he could have.
Or he still could be.
Mm-hmm. The movie changes types of movie. Did you notice that? Like at some points, it played like a slasher movie, like a straight slasher movie, and then it switched gears and became more of an abduction bottle film.
Yeah, like the phone. It became the black phone.
Yeah. I could see the comparison.
But I mean, what did you like? I liked the gore. The gore was pretty good.
Oh, you're gonna repeat that. You're breaking up again.
I liked the gore. The gore was very good.
Mm-hmm. I agree. It was good. Blood looked good.
I'm looking at the. By the way, I'm looking at the live stream in the corner, and it says 2 bars. So I don't think it's me. It keeps going to 2 bars.
It's probably
and then up.
Yeah, then that's the streaming platform that's making things break. Am I breaking up when I'm talking?
No, you're not. Oh, double features here on.
Hey, what's up? Let's power through it. They say we're driving home from conference now, listening on the way home. Can't wait to check out the replay. Cool, very, very cool. I appreciate that. Thank you. What you were saying about the gore, I also thought the set was pretty good. Like the house looked really creepy and lived in. It didn't look like a set. It looked like someone's crazy house. They put a lot of attention to detail into each room of the house and the basement.
Now, if you want to talk about the Tinkerbell or the premise of the movie, please do so. I shall sit back and let you.
Okay. Was just going to say that the one thing I would request to improve upon is the pacing. And the other thing I would like to see a person in the queer community review this movie, because there was some themes in it that I was trying to understand, but I feel like I don't have the context for. Because there's a character that I'm not sure if they are meant. Well, I think they're meant to be trans, but I don't know whether they're meant to be forcefully trans or whether it's very, very ambiguous, because it seemed like as a child that they were trans, but then the things that happened to them, now that I'm thinking about it, I think they were meant to be trans because they felt that way before the things that happened to them. And then I think they became a victim of like Stockholm syndrome, where they started to identify with the person who was abusing them. That was my take on it. But again, like I said, as a cishet person, I realized that there might be some context that I'm missing. The director of Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare is also in the queer community. So there's probably context there or things that are in between the lines that I'm not picking up on. So I would like to see someone that is within the queer community give a read on their interpretation of the things that are happening in the movie. So that's what I'll say about that part of it. Other than that, I would have cut 20 minutes out of it because I feel like the pacing was a little bit slow at times. Cut 20 minutes out of it and maybe more editing, a little bit more editing, because I feel like each scene went on for maybe a minute too long. Just needed tighter editing, and I think it would have a much better film. But it definitely had a creepy vibe about it. What are your final thoughts about it?
By the way, very, very well stated.
Mm-hmm.
Your whole description of the movie, I really appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Oh, well, thank you. Tom Baker says a movie with a message. Yes, I believe so. I think I would have to rewatch it. It's not letting me add the comment up there, but I think I would have to rewatch it to really mull it over. And like I said, because the perspective is more specialized, and it's not a perspective that I am super familiar with. I think we should normalize saying I don't have enough information to form an opinion about certain things.
Exactly.
I think it's okay to say that. To say, you know what, I need to get more information, more perspective from someone in that community, and then I will be able to understand it a little bit more. That's what I think.
By the way, before you move on, you said you couldn't add Tom Baker up there. It's up there. I'm looking right at it. And now I'm taking it off. Are you there? Uh-oh. I think we lost Lady Shasha. Did. Oh. So, chat, what are we going to do for now? Ask some questions. Ask me anything. There she comes back. You can ask me. Oh, by the way, if you enjoy the stream, please leave a comment. Anything, just questions, comments, and I will get to them the following week. So if you leave comments tonight, when we do the reviews next week, we'll have a comment section or a comment time, and I can address the comments. Oh, she's back, ladies and gentlemen. She's back.
Yeah. Especially if you're watching the replay, definitely comment, because we still interact in the comments after we've done live streaming. And I also come back and add timestamps. So if people want to watch certain parts, maybe they don't want to have spoilers for certain movies that they might have on their watch list, I add timestamps usually the day after. Now I have to reset things up because when it kicked me out, it kicked out my files. So I got to put the video file back in.
That's fine.
Here we go.
Well, while you're doing that,
mm-hmm.
I can give my opinion. Well, my movie review.
Mm-hmm.
I actually love Sinners. I thought it was a really great movie. I like Smoke and Stack the best. I always like Michael B. Jordan movies. He's always good in every movie he does. And
mm-hmm.
I was trying to ask your sister if she remembers him from a TV show that was on HBO. Do you remember him?
Not from TV, no.
He was on, he was on The Wire.
Oh, I didn't watch all The Wire. I've only seen a couple
Hold
episodes
on a second.
of The Wire.
What? Oh. Sorry, somebody might have been talking in the background. But no, he was on The Wire. He was
mm-hmm.
he was really good in The Wire as well.
Mm-hmm.
So the man can act. And if double feature, if you want to leave a comment, I have a question for you guys. I was going to put this on the live stream yesterday, but who can relate to Smoke and who can relate to Stack out of you two?
Oh, that's a good question. Actually, I'd love to see them do just a video and title it "Twins Review Sinners." And I think a lot of people will tune in because you guys have a unique perspective on just just being a twin versus being like a singleton. And also you mentioned last night about how well he was acting and playing the two different roles as being two separate individuals with their own personalities, which is really cool. But yeah, I'd love to see you guys do a deep dive on that. Okay, I think I can get back into, let me put this back. Let me add this back up here. Did you have anything else to add about Neverland?
I agree with you on the point that it was probably could have been cut down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I do know that I think in the cartoon, Captain Hook, the reason that he's called Captain Hook was because the alligator bit his hand off.
Yeah, that's what I remember too.
Yeah.
They never explained why Peter Pan had Captain Hook locked in the basement.
It was his nemesis.
Yeah, but they didn't. Maybe they wanted to have a prequel or something.
Okay, I have one other glaring question. Remember when he got on a bus and he goes, "Which one of you want to come to Neverland?"
Yeah.
And all the kids screamed. Did he murder all the kids, or what did he do? Because they never followed up with that.
I don't. I think that, you know what? I don't remember whether they said the kids were missing or whether he had iced them. I really do not remember.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, all right, those are my only questions.
No problem.
As-
Let's roll into the next one. Which we actually watched too. Here's the first one that we watched.
You know, he's coming when the fog rolls in. It was 15 years ago the little boy they called Popeye drowned. Let's see if Popeye's ghost wants to play with May.
I think I just saw someone.
What are you doing driving down here? There's nothing down here apart from an abandoned old house.
Yeah, Popeye's house, sir. My parents own the place.
Now that is an eyesore.
It's coming to you.
What are you?
It's Popeye. He's back.
Now, the reason why I mentioned that we watched two of these is that that one is Popeye's Revenge, but we also watched Popeye the Slayer Man. But we'll talk about them individually.
All right, you gonna stop? Okay, there you go.
What do you remember about Popeye's Revenge? Because we actually watched it, I think, 2 weeks ago.
Not too much. I mean, it was probably more boring out of the two.
Yes, I agree.
But I do remember one thing is that I didn't understand that one scene where the girl's in the hot tub making out with the dudes with the dude that had the girlfriend that was in the house, and for some strange reason she's sitting there all by herself and the light falls right. She didn't even turn her head to see the even out of her periphery. You would look like, why'd that light fall? Right or wrong? She didn't do that, and
no.
As soon as I saw the light fall, I was like, "Yep, I know what's gonna happen next." It was very you can definitely the scenes were choreographed, and he didn't. Neither one of them. That my biggest complaint was neither one of them did like the Popeye laugh, even like scary Popeye laugh. They didn't do it at all, and I told you that. I think I said that to you. What do you remember?
They gave this Popeye a backstory where I guess he was bullied at school or something, and then he ran away into the forest. And then the kids that are there camping, I think it's their parents that bullied him. It was something like that. It was hard to pay attention to because, like you said, it was so boring, so boring, and the characters were boring. Like no qualities that make them stand out from each other. Is just like the person that's going to get killed first, then second, then third, and fourth, and fifth, and sixth. Like that's who they are. They don't really have a whole lot of character development. I think the only one thing is the one guy was cheating on his girlfriend with another girl that was also there at the same time, which was weird. Like your girlfriend's in one room and you're in the next room macking on the other girl like that. Who does that? The character design, Popeye, he just looked okay. Not really scary to me at all. The kills are not even memorable.
No.
Like literally nothing memorable.
All he kept doing was
using that anchor.
He
right?
used the anchor a lot. Yeah, but he also squeezed people's heads and made their eyes pop out
Yeah, but not
because
as
of
good
his
as
giant
the other.
forearms.
Yeah, not as good as the other Popeye. Which I'm still also looking forward to Shiver Me Timbers because that's the third Popeye horror film. But this one, I would never watch this again. It's horrible. I'm sorry to say. One thing that made it a little different was it did take place in the UK, and I think I haven't seen a slasher movie in the UK. I've seen werewolf movies, vampire movies, zombie movies, I think, or a zombie movie, but I don't think I've ever seen a slasher movie from the UK. So that was different, but still not too entertaining. It just didn't do it for me.
Yeah.
So let's get into the other killer Popeye movie. Good artwork for the poster though. It says from sailor to slayer.
What the hell is all this stuff for?
It's the equipment I checked out for my documentary.
Oh, is this that pirate man thing you were going on about in class?
Sailor man. Tonight's the last night we can get inside.
They're, aware of the charming stories circulating about this place.
I don't believe in ghost stories.
He's not a ghost. The Sailor Man is real. He doesn't take kindly to visitors stopping on his doorstep.
If she's just doing some school project, then why won't she just pick the phone up? Oh yeah? What should I do? She said they're going to be at the old canning factory, right? Let's go down there.
Do you know why the factory closed down 20 years ago? There was a spinach contamination.
I am what I am.
You already know what I'm gonna say. This one is far superior to Popeye's Revenge. Just based off of the gore and the practical effects alone, way better. What do you think?
Story wise too. I mean, at least this one took place in a spinach factory.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't like the spinach. I didn't like why he became how he became because of what was going on with the spinach.
Mm-hmm.
Like Toxic Avenger type shit. But it was very memorable. Very I wouldn't watch either one of them again, but at least this one had Wimpy in it.
Yeah, they did have Wimpy in it. He got kicked out for trying to get a free burger, which is what Wimpy does.
He said, "Get the hell out of here! You don't get a free burger."
Mm-hmm.
But that, I wouldn't watch it again though. Actually, got kind of bored when she was running away. Was she the red-haired girl? Mm-hmm. Oh, that's right.
Oh,
remember I thought
you thought what?
I was going to say I thought that she was going to be Sweet Pea.
I thought that's what she was. I think because she had dark hair, people thought she was going to be Olive Oil, but instead she ended up being Sweet Pea, if I'm not mistaken.
No, the red-haired girl.
The red-haired girl?
Yeah, remember there was a girl.
Oh, yeah, there was a girl with red hair, but I was thinking of the dark-haired girl.
But remember, we thought that Popeye was going to kill her, but then I said, I don't think he's going to because of the fact that sailors, when red-haired people get on a boat.
Well, that's in Ireland, right? Yeah, in Ireland. In Ireland, red-haired people, it's bad luck to have them on a boat or something like that. But Popeye's not from Ireland, so I don't know whether he would still adhere to that, or is that just a general sailor thing? I don't know any American sailors, so I do have a little bit of trivia. says producer Jeff Miller said they went old school and focused on using real practical effects instead of relying on CG for the gore. Of course, I mentioned this, but I'm going to repeat it. One of 3 horror films released in 2025 about Popeye that takes advantage of the character entering public domain this year. This movie, Shiver Me Timbers, and Popeye's Revenge. It says around the 1825 mark, you will see a man dressed like Wimpy from the cartoon at the bar. The bartender tells him that they don't sell cheeseburgers here and don't take IOUs to get out of here.
That's right. That's right.
At 1 hour and 7 minutes and 9 seconds, you see an ID card with a woman named Olive Oil. At 1 hour, 6 minutes, and 25 seconds of the movie, they show a picture of Popeye's family. The woman resembles Olive Oil and the baby Sweet Pea. And one of the 3 horror filmers, is this a repeat of the other one? Yeah, this is a repeat of the other one. The 3 horror films released with Popeye in it in 2025. But yeah, this one was better. Still not great. Like, the kills were good. Again, what's the runtime on this? 1 hour and 28 minutes, and still felt like you could have shaved off 10 minutes. It's only 88 minutes long. It's only 88 minutes long, but there's not enough story there. That's what it was.
But you had a major complaint from both movies.
What was my complaint?
Where is Bluto?
Oh yeah, that's true. Because honestly, why is Popeye the villain when Bluto has always been the villain? But I guess Popeye the Slayer Man and Popeye's Revenge Popeye is a more recognizable name than Bluto. I think you'd actually have to know the Popeye cartoon to know who Bluto even is.
But yeah, I was waiting for him to wind up his fist.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Popeye movie that I remember, Robin Williams, the late great Robin Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Saw that in the theater too.
Before we get into the last one that we saw, got to give you a little bit of backstory on the character, because a lot of people only know the Disney princess Cinderella.
Now
this is the ending of the original Cinderella story.
Succeeded, he would let the slipper help him find his bride. He had it proclaimed that he would marry the person whose foot fit the golden slipper, but it was too small for everyone. Indeed, some could not have gotten their foot inside if it had been twice as large. Finally, it came time for the 2 sisters to try on the slipper. They were happy, for they had small, beautiful feet, and each one believed that she could not fail. If only the prince would come here sooner, they thought. Listen, said the mother secretly. Take this knife, and if the slipper is too tight, just cut off part of your foot. It will hurt a little, but what harm is that? The pain will soon pass. Then one of you will be queen. Then the oldest one went into her bedroom and tried on the slipper. The front of her foot went in, but her heel was too large, so she took the knife and cut part of it off, so she could force her foot into the slipper. Then she went out to the prince, and when he saw that she was wearing the slipper, he said that she was to be his bride. He escorted her to his carriage and was going to drive away with her. When he arrived at the gate, the 2 pigeons were perched above, and they called out, "Rook-de-goo, rook-de-goo, there's blood in the shoe. The shoe is too tight, this bride is not right." The prince bent over and looked at the slipper. Blood was streaming from it. He saw that he had been deceived, and he took the false bride back. The mother then said to the second daughter, "Take the slipper, and if it's too short for you, then cut off your toes." So she took the slipper into her bedroom, and because her foot was too long, she bit her teeth together and cut off a large part of her toes, then quickly pulled on the slipper. When she stepped out wearing it, the prince thought that she was the right one and wanted to ride away with her. But when they came to the gate, the pigeons called out again, "Rook-de-goo, rook-de-goo, there's blood in the shoe. The shoe is too tight. This bride is not right." The prince looked down and saw that her white stockings were stained red, and that blood had come up high on them. The prince took her back to her mother and said, "She is not the right bride either. Is there not another daughter here in this house?" "Oh no," said the mother. "There is only a dirty cinder girl here. She is sitting down there in the ashes. The slipper would never fit her." She did not want to call her, but the prince insisted. So they called Cinderella, and when she heard the prince was there, she quickly washed her hands and face. She stepped into the best room and bowed. The prince handed her the golden slipper and said, "Try it on. If it fits you, you shall be my wife." She pulled the heavy shoe from her left foot and put her foot into the slipper, pushing ever so slightly. It fit as if it had been poured over her foot. As she straightened herself up, she looked into the prince's face, and he recognized her as the beautiful princess. He cried out, "This is the right bride!" The stepmother and the two proud sisters turned pale with horror. The prince escorted Cinderella away. He helped her into his carriage, and as they rode through the gate, the pigeon called out, "Rick-de-goo, Rick-de-goo, no blood's in the shoe. The shoe is not too tight. This bride is right."
Was that done with AI?
Probably the images might have been done with AI.
Because the prince had a suit on at the end.
Yeah, it was probably AI pictures, but were you listening to the story? Did
Yes.
you hear what the stepsisters did?
Lift-de-doo, yes, I did.
No, I'm not talking about the birds. What did the
No,
stepsisters do?
I know what the stepsisters did.
I want you to restate it for emphasis.
One cut off her heel, the other one cut off her toes.
Yes, that's the original Cinderella story. So now I'm going to show you guys the ugly stepsister, which is also a take on Cinderella from a different perspective. This is a co-production between Independent Film Channel and Shudder. Oh, I should also mention it's a co-production between the countries of Norway, Denmark, Romania, Poland, and Sweden. And the language spoken in the movie is Norwegian. So we end up watching this with subtitles in the theater. But here's the trailer. This was a difficult scene to watch.
I'm going crazy.
Yeah, you were cringing most of the movie.
Yes, I was very much.
Best friend insanity.
That one too. That was very difficult to watch.
No.
I've lost my mind. I'm going crazy. I've lost my mind. Crazy.
All right. So, yeah, it was a difficult watch. It was very, very like, well, let me get into the comments. The Cinderella movie looks good. I'll stream it, Tom Baker says. Paul Draw says, Ugly Stepsister is similar to The Substance or little inspiration. I think it's the type of film that got greenlit because of the popularity and success of The Substance. So definitely there are some similar themes when it comes to beauty and what lengths people will go through to become beautiful or what is considered beautiful, because the character, she never really actually was ugly, but during the time period that she lives in, or that this takes place in, her features were not considered beautiful. Let's see here. Double Feature says, really looking forward to checking out The Ugly Stepsister. Heard good things. Looks trippy. So Shasha, maybe I'll try to convince Kira to do a twins review of Sinners. I think it would be great. I hope you guys do it. Paul Draw says, won't expect another monster fusion. No. There's not a monster fusion, but there is body horror. I'm just going to say body horror. Wonder if we can make it through, especially if you were cringing. Yeah, because it takes a lot for me to cringe. It's what made me cringe was the surgery sequences of that time period.
Wait. It does not take a lot for you to cringe. It takes a lot for me to cringe. You cringe at everything.
Oh, well, maybe. Tom Baker says Sinners trailers were too long. It feels like I've already seen the movie. It puts me off. No, because the runtime of the movie and the amount of story that's told, the movie's over 2 hours long. So no, the trailers did not give you even a little bit of the movie, which is a good thing.
But go ahead, keep going.
Oh, I was gonna say I put one of the images of one of the cringiest things that sequences for me to sit through was that the scene that you see there with the needle and the eyelash. That was very, very difficult to watch.
Yeah, but I think I told you when you've had stitches and you've watched them put them in, it doesn't really bother you. Like,
yeah, but on your eyelash, like right at your eye line, a needle
well,
by
I mean,
your eyeball, like that's. Oh,
they sewed them in.
I should mention one other thing to Tom Baker that Sinners is shot in 70mm IMAX, which is if you could find it where you're at, it would be amazing to see it. In the US, there's only 8 theaters that played it in the 70mm IMAX. They played it in regular IMAX, but not 70mm where we went to see it. The only place in Florida that has the 70mm is in Fort Lauderdale. But the sound design, the practical effects, it is cinema. That's all. That's the last thing I'm going to say about Sinners. Yeah, and the twins understand things going near eyes. Yes, and the whole scene with the nose job, like just the thought of someone taking a chisel and putting it on the bridge of someone's nose, and
then hitting it.
I mean, I know that's how they do some nose jobs, like even to this day. But to see it without anesthesia is crazy.
No spoilers, but they did it twice.
Yes, they did.
And answer Paul Draws is why eyes? Because without spoiling it, she wanted to get longer lashes, so they sewed them in her eyes.
That's literally spoiling it, but okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry.
But you could kind of infer that from the image. And that's a screenshot I took from the trailer. So it's not something that's like I'm not showing you something that wasn't shown in the trailer. I just took screenshots from the trailer and put them there.
I have a dirty secret because I'll tell you, I must not pay attention. I didn't really pay attention to the words that were going across the screen because I just watched it again, and I realized it gave it away to me because when I was sitting in the theater. If you remember, I looked at you. I said, "This is like Cinderella," and all you did was nod your head and smile.
Well,
because I had no idea it was Cinderella because I thought that the ugly stepsister was gonna like kill everybody because I'm used to like Harry and stuff like that. So,
well, I knew because the stepsisters were called the ugly stepsisters in the fairy tale.
I thought it was all just euphemisms.
In Grimm, I don't think Cinderella's not a Grimm fairy tale, but I remember having when I was little, I had not really my books. Come to find out, when I was little, I thought they were my books, but come to find out, they were my mother and my aunt's books that my grandmother had got for them. So I had Thumbelina and Tom Thumb and The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, Grimm's fairy tales, The Princess and the Pea, like all those really, really old stories. I had those books when I was growing up. I don't really remember reading Cinderella that much. I remember more The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. For some reason, that was more fascinating to me as a little kid. And any book that came with a record, because I had a Fisher-Price record player, and any book that came with a record that you put on, you listen to them, read the book, and you follow along. I
had a
like those
Spider-Man
a
like
lot.
that.
Tom Baker says the Grimms were not normal people. Well, I think a
They
lot of their
weren't.
fairy tales were more cautionary tales. They were
Mm-hmm.
made to teach children lessons. Like I think Little Red Riding Hood is about not trusting strangers, not talking to strangers, that type of thing.
Hansel and Gretel.
Yeah, Hansel and Gretel, and also Pinocchio, which is not a Grimm's fairy tale, but the person who wrote Pinocchio said he wrote it as a cautionary tale about children being naughty, because all the bad things that happened to Pinocchio were because he was naughty and he didn't listen to parents, and he was just a badass kid. So that's why the story Pinocchio goes the way it goes. It's a cautionary tale up against being naughty. Now, let's transition into a couple trailer reactions. I don't know if you knew, they dropped a teaser and a trailer this week.
Hold on, I was going to say something before you finished with the trailer, that I don't remember any like fairy tales like how you're explaining them, like the Grimm's fairy tales, because I was more into Aesop.
Oh, Aesop's Fables?
Yes.
Or do you mean
those are mine?
The fractured fairy tales from Bullwinkle and what was it? Rocky and Bullwinkle.
No,
remember
his
the fractured fairy tale.
his actual stories, like the fox and the hare and the tortoise and the sour grapes fox.
Mm-hmm.
Like those are what I remember when I'm.
Yep. We need to reteach
right.
those.
Yes. Oops,
Okay,
sorry.
let's get into these teasers. Hopefully, I am able to surprise you because I know what they are, but I want to see your reaction. Here goes teaser number 1.
I didn't think you survived. You're hunting something that can't be killed.
What do you think?
Oh, okay, where does this take place?
I would guess in the Badlands, wherever the Badlands are.
Is it like before? Like, was it dinosaurs or what? Or is it like on a futuristic planet? I'm interested, but it's kind of throwing me off because I thought they were supposed to do the Predator, like the sequel was to be like World War II or something. I swear I heard something like.
Okay,
they went from.
The description says a young predator outcast from his clan finds an unlikely ally on his journey in search of the ultimate adversary. So I do not know whether this takes place on Earth or where this takes place.
Okay. But yes, I'll definitely go see it.
I forgot to give my final word on the Ugly Stepsister. Great movie. I really, really enjoyed it. There is a lot of nudity, so it's not for children at all. There is a lot of practical effects, some gross out scenes. There's no creature transformation, but there are some gross out scenes because of the lengths that she goes to try to become quote unquote beautiful. And I mean, if you are squeamish and you don't like practical effects, maybe not the movie for you. But if you do enjoy good storytelling and opulence, like oh my goodness, they really recreated that era, the costume design, the facades, or I should say the interiors or sets they use, the locations.
Beautifully shot.
Is really beautifully shot. Like, I'm glad I saw it in the movie theater. It was really, really beautifully shot. Also, I forgot as I was watching it that it was not in English. Like the subtitles were like super easy. The dialogue got you really invested. So I definitely recommend The Ugly Stepsister. If you get to see it in the theater, definitely check it out. There is a mid-credit scene also. And she, at the end, she ends up looking like a totally different character from another fairy tale. I'll say that. Let me see. Oh, wait, a couple more. Paul Draw says, I'm digging this one for theaters. I heard people felt off at the new Predator face. I did too. I just assumed that maybe it was a prequel or something because Prey happened so many hundreds of years in the past. So I was not sure why that Predator looked the way it looked. I don't know whether it's just a regular redesign or what, but I didn't love the redesign. Double Feature says, looks like it's following a young Predator on a quest. And Paul says, you are referring to the animated show Predator Killer of Killers. Yeah, okay. Double Feature says, looks like he will have to prove himself to get back to their good graces. Young Predator has none of their standard weapons. It will be great following the Predator as the protagonist. Oh, that's cool. Is The Ugly Stepsister streaming yet? No, we just saw it in the movie theater this past Sunday. But because it's a co-production between an independent film channel and Shudder, I'm assuming that it will stream on Shudder first when it does come out. Although there's a possibility that it might be streaming on Amazon or Fandango for pay, like if you're to just purchase the movie just to watch it by itself. But I think it's going to go to Shudder. Too many overthinking on Predator. Simple equals more scary. Yeah, I have to agree with that. Sorry if I mentioned off topic, but you're referring to Narnia because I recognize the name, The Lion, the Witch. Yes. Yeah, the book that I had was called The Lion, the Witch, in the Wardrobe, but they did go to Narnia. I don't know which book in the series that is because I know there's also a Chronicles of Narnia. I don't remember what order the books go in, but the book that I had was called The Lion, the Witch, in the Wardrobe.
And do yourself a favor. Don't see The Conjuring before you see The Lion, the Witch, in the Wardrobe with a child, because the wardrobe closet, I kept thinking there's going to be something on top of it or coming out of it because I saw The Conjuring before. It was, yeah.
That's funny. You ready for the next trailer?
Yes, please.
All right, let's go. So that's also going to be IMAX and 40X. Okay.
It's a trailer too.
Baby, you okay? Why don't you go upstairs and do that guided meditation?
I do not remember the PBS special.
Thank you. Find a peaceful setting.
I don't know why you would use anything red in a bathtub. It feels like it would stain your skin.
Light calling you.
Hello?
Now, feel that love,
and it looks like blood,
entering your body and emanating out from your chest. Take a deep breath in and remember the energy you give to the universe always comes back to you.
Oh my God. Really?
This is some kind of karma for what we did. What if someone saw what happened?
You need to handle this. This isn't the first time there's been violence like this in Southport. It's not going to stop.
I need to start drinking. Someone is coming after us. I need your help. I just have one question.
What do you want from us?
What did you do last summer?
Wow.
This place is so beautiful, it makes me want to die.
Yeah, I'll go see it.
Another film I'm excited for. This trailer was great. I think it gave just enough. I hope the kills are better because that's one of the things that makes me not rewatch I Know What You Did Last Summer. Or it's possible. You know what? I'm trying to think. Did I watch it unedited though?
Probably
I can't
not.
remember. I probably watched it when they played it on USA or the Sci-Fi channel, and I probably need to go back and watch it like unedited. So I take back what I was about to say.
I mean, I saw the first one. I saw all of them in the movie theater, so why not see this one too?
I didn't see this one in the movie theater. I saw Urban Legend in the movie theater.
Yeah, that's horrible. Urban Legends was horrible when she's driving and turn around. That was a horrible movie, man. But yes, I'll go see this one.
I enjoyed Urban Legends.
Yes, Tom Baker. Sorry, I'm sorry. I should have clicked on it and showed it to you. It says,
here, let me do this. I'll take this down. Sinners and the Ugly Stepsister is here in the theaters. I'll watch it on the big screen this weekend. Very, very cool. I will look forward to what you think of it next week when we come back on the stream.
Yes. All right.
Let me do this.
Oh yes, double feature co-signing. Says yes, they did edit it down for TV from what I remember. I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Okay, now speaking of Urban Legend, a reboot is in development from Screen Gems. The reimagining of Jamie Blank's 1998 slasher will explore a post-digital world. It says Jamie Blank's Urban Legend is the latest 90s slasher to get the reboot treatment, with the Hollywood Reporter today revealing that Gary Doberman's Salem's Lot in the upcoming Until Dawn is set to produce via his coin-operated banner. Sony's genre division Screen Gems is said to be in early stages of rebooting the 1998 horror, with Sarah Wakefield penning the script. As the Hollywood Reporter reminds us, Blank's original Urban Legend, penned by Sylvia Horta, starred Jared Leto, Alicia Witt, Tara Reid, Rebecca Gayheart, and Joshua Jackson, and featured a killer whose kills were inspired by popular urban legends of the period, such as death by pop rocks and soft drinks, or being pursued in a car by a gang for flashing. A reminder to turn on their headlights.
Yes.
The way they wrote that was janky. 2 sequels followed: Urban Legends Final Cut in 2000 and the direct-to-video Urban Legends Bloody Mary in 2005. The upcoming reboot is said to explore Urban Legends in the post-digital world, so we could be looking at things like Internet Red Rooms, the Elevator Game, or creepypastas. Alongside Doberman, original Urban Legend producer Neil Moritz also in talks to return as producer. In our interview with Witt, the Longlegs star already said she'd love to come back for another round of Urban Legend. So will Natalie Simon return? Watch this space. Looks like the Rebootaissance, I guess, shows no sign of slowing down. Look out for more Urban Legend updates as we get them. Shout out to Fangoria and Amber T, who wrote this article. Which is a rewrite. This is actually a rewrite of the article from the Hollywood Reporter, but the Hollywood Reporter was asking me to turn off my my pop-up blocker or my ad blocker, and I was like, I'm not about to turn it off just to read your article. So that's why I did that. Speaking of Rebootaissance, I made another list. I like to make lists. I made a list of the reboots, remakes, and sequels that we are getting this year. I started with one we already saw, which is Wolfman, which is a remake. Of course, we have Final Destination's Bloodlines coming up next month. The 4th installment in the Fear Street series called Fear Street Prom Queen. And we have 28 Years Later coming out, what is that, in June or July? Megan 2.0. We have another Jurassic Park because, you got to keep doing that. What's crazy is Jurassic Park went from being a fantasy film to being real, seeing as they brought back dire wolves and they're working on trying to bring back woolly mammoths. Aside from that, we just watched the trailer for I Know What You Did Last Summer. Did we do the Toxic Avenger last week or the week before last?
Yes.
I know we did a trailer reaction to the Toxic Avenger.
Mm-hmm.
The Conjuring, The Last Rites. I believe that will be out in September, if I'm not mistaken. The Strangers, Chapter 2.
That's already out.
No, that was The Strangers Chapter 1 that just came out.
Oh.
Again.
So you have The Strangers, then The Strangers Chapter 1, and then The Strangers Chapter 2?
Yeah, well, they shot a trilogy, so there's going to be a Strangers Chapter 3 after Strangers Chapter 2.
So then, what was the original Strangers? Was that the preface?
No, that was just The Strangers. These are remakes or reboots.
Oh,
yeah. I never liked the original Strangers, so I'm probably not going to watch the new Strangers. Those movies have never been interesting to me. I'm just not. The only home invasion movies that I like, there's like 2 of them. Inside and Don't Breathe with the elderly man that was blind. That's like the only 2 home invasion movies I like.
the only one, Don't Breathe, was the only one I was rooting for the killer. You don't remember Panic Room?
I didn't like Panic Room. Where did I leave off? I said Saw 11. I gotta get caught up because I don't think I missed one of the Saw movies.
No, you didn't.
I missed one of them. Yeah, I did. I missed one. There was one. I saw the Chris Rock one, and then I saw the one that came out last year. But there's one before the Chris Rock one that I didn't see. So I'm missing one of the Saw movies. It's probably 7 or 8 is the one that I missed.
No.
The Black Phone 2, which I thought the Black Phone was kind of okay. Not amazing, just okay. Let's see. Pop over here for a second. Yeah, they did edit down for I think I read that. Yep. Didn't know they were doing an Urban Legend reboot. Yeah, I just found out today. And they're still strangers. Yeah, they should be like good friends now.
Known. And by the way, for the chat, you didn't mention that. What I read was that Megan 2.0 is they're going to encourage you to be on your phones during Megan 2.0 to interact with Megan. And I basically said that it's just so that it's going to give them an excuse to make a shitty movie because you'll be paying attention to your phone more than you'll be watching the movie.
I didn't hear that was for Megan 2.0. I heard that was for the re-release of Megan. Because a month before Megan 2.0 comes out, there's going to be a re-release of Megan in the theaters, but it's going to be interactive. That's what I read.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Maybe I got it wrong.
I think it's for the re-release of Megan.
Okay.
And it's probably a test to see if that works well for audiences. They'll probably do other movies that way because they're trying to get Gen Z back in the theaters because I think the consensus was that they weren't buying a lot of theater tickets until this past 2 weeks with the Minecraft movie. They bought a lot of tickets to see the Minecraft movie.
According to the news this morning, before you go back on theater chains, they're thinking of letting you smoke and being on your phone back.
Well,
so
that's just going back
allowing
to
you to smoke in the theater. Yeah, allowing you to smoke in your theater, but be on your phone as well.
Well, that's just going back to the 1930s with the smoking because they used to allow smoking in theaters a long time ago. Being on the phone in the theater would probably keep me out of the theater because for horror movies, I feel like I don't want to see. I'm going to get into my old lady Gen X bag, but it's a bitch move. You're on your phone because you're scared and you want to play on your phone to break the tension and not be scared. But that's not the point. You go to a movie theater to see a horror movie to be scared. So if you're just going to punk out, just stay home because I want to sit in the dark and watch a movie. End of my rant.
There you go.
Okay, where did I leave off? Predator Badlands, which we just saw the teaser for. Get this, The Running Man. They want to do that again. I don't know how I feel about it. Depends on who's involved. Return to Silent Hill, which I mean, it's a game series, so there was more that they could do with that. Yet another Frankenstein movie. Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Trash's Revenge, Return to the Living Dead universe. They're bringing back Anaconda. There's also another Return of the Living Dead, which we saw the teaser for. Alien Earth, which is meant to be a TV series, and they've been telling us we're going to get an Alien Earth since the 90s. Alien Earth was in the works when Alien 3 came out, because the original script for Alien 3 was Alien on Earth, and they even shot a teaser that said, "On Earth, everyone can hear you scream." I remember the teaser for Alien 3, and then the movie came out, and it was Charles S. Dutton and Sigourney Weaver on a prison planet, and I was like, that's the opposite of what the teaser was. But I digress. It welcomed a Derry TV series. We are getting another Hell House LLC lineage. Thanksgiving 2, which I'm all for, because I feel like with slasher movies, I like having slasher sequels. Like, I grew up with slasher sequels. We had one almost every year. If it wasn't Friday the 13th, it was Nightmare on Elm Street. If it wasn't that, it was Halloween. If it wasn't that, it was Texas Chainsaw Massacre. If it wasn't that, we had then all of the one-off slashers of the 80s, which, again, I got to do summer slashers again, because there's so many that I did not cover. But yes, I'm here for Thanksgiving 2. They Follow, which is the sequel to It Follows, which I really enjoyed. Tron Ares, or Ares. I don't know whether it's Ares or Ares, but it's another Tron movie. And I remember, do you remember seeing the first Tron movie?
Yep, I do.
How old were you?
Well, we saw when it first. I saw when it first came out in the movie theater. Yes, my dad took us.
It was a big deal because that was like one of the first movies that Disney used computer animation.
Yep, and we used to ride our bikes.
Glow.
And we used to ride our bikes after the movie, me and my cousin, and pretend that we had the wall coming, and it's like the light cycles.
My dad showed us how to make our bikes look like the light cycles. What he would do is he got the light sticks, you crack them and tie it to the spoke, and when you're pedaling the bike at night, it looks like your bike is lit up.
Yeah, interesting. That's we learned how to. We used to make our bikes sound like choppers, motorcycles.
Oh, with the cards.
Yeah,
with the cards and the spokes. And then also Karate Kid Legends, which I'm hoping will tie into Cobra Kai, which you and I have to finish watching, because I would like to do a stream about Cobra Kai. The twins said they're looking forward to They Follow. Now, that said, even though I have so far 27 reboots, remakes, and sequels on my list, there is more movies coming out that are original works than there are of what was I going to say, reboots, remakes, and sequels, which I did another list. Let me see if I can pull that up without coming out of here.
You do a lot. You make a lot of lists. You really do.
I like making lists.
It's the Virgo in you again.
Yes. I also enjoy spreadsheets. I haven't made a spreadsheet in a minute, but I think I will make another spreadsheet. Here we go. 2025 original horror releases. And this will be probably like the last section before we get out of here, because I'm starting to get hungry. Paul Draws says, another Pinocchio story, Tron Ares. Heard it has an inspiration for the story. Interesting. Brian is here. He says, what's up? What's up, Brian? Okay, let's get into the original.
Brian always says, what's up to you? I'm here too. What's up, Brian? Yeah. How you doing?
Let's put this by release date order. Okay, so this is on my watch list. I want to watch sometime this weekend. Hell of a Summer, which is a original slasher film, directed by, or co-written by, I think, Finn Wolfhard from Stranger Things, which is really cool. He's only like 23, 22 years old.
I thought he directed it.
Let me
wrote it.
Let's see.
I thought he directed and wrote it.
Let's clear this up. Yes, he did co-direct it and wrote it. Yes, shout out to that.
Finn. That's what I thought.
Good job. So that's on my list to watch this weekend.
Yep.
Come on, go back. My computer's a little slow. Here we go. The Inhabitants, which I have not seen yet. The Presence I did see. I enjoyed it a lot. It's very, how do I describe it? It's more of a drama with horror elements in it. There's definitely horror. I would definitely describe it as a horror movie, but it has that type of drama. Not the same storyline. The only thing I can compare it to would be like Parasite. Not in the story, totally different type of story, but in that there's the drama of the family and the different layers of drama within the family. That's the only reason why I'm comparing it to Parasite, because that's also a movie that has this layered drama that builds upon itself. It's really, really great. The Moo Guy is on my list. This is an Australian film that features an Aboriginal family, which you do not see every day. Like, you rarely see a film where there's an Aboriginal family that is in the forefront of the movie. And also the legend may come from Aboriginal culture. Heresy is out somewhere. It's not listed where you can see it just yet. It might still be on a festival circuit. Mom is another one. The Girl with the Needle, that's also on my watch list. It came here to the movie theaters for like 1 week and then it was gone. So now I have to wait for wherever it's going to be streaming. The Shrouds is David Cronenberg's next picture, and you might know him from oh gosh, what was that movie with I can see her face, but I can't think of her name. The girl that was in X, and she was also in Mia Goth. Mia Goth was in his last film, and I can't recall the title of it.
Wait.
It was no. Mia Goth, and it was the tall guy from Scandinavia that his brother plays Pennywise, and his dad was in Thor. I'm just gonna click on it. I'm just gonna click on it because I cannot recall the people's names.
Scandinavian guy, the one that played True Blood.
Yeah,
Eric.
yes, yeah.
Eric something or other.
When I come down here, it should say also known for more like this. Where's his other movies? Okay, usually they have a list of like, oh, know why? Because I didn't click on his name. I'm still on the Shrouds and not on David Cronenberg. There we go. Oh, you know what? I was thinking of his son. No, this is David Cronenberg. This is not his son. I'm thinking of his son's movies. No, this is the guy, the Fly. Yeah. My bad. I was thinking of his son. Okay, that makes me even more excited because I like him a little bit better than his son. I like his work just a little bit better than his son's work. I don't know why my mind was thinking of his son and not him. That's crazy. But anyways, The Shrouds, that's on my watch list. Looks like it's coming out this Friday. It said April 25th. So,
by the way, his name is Alexander Skarsgård.
Thank you, Alexander Skarsgård. Did you find the movie though?
No, not yet. Hold on.
Okay, while you're looking for that, there's a movie called The Damned that's out. The Ghost, which is one of the few movies. It's Amtibsha, if I'm saying that. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing it right because it's a Gaelic movie, and it's one of the only 2 movies that have ever been filmed in Gaelic language. But I think it's called Amtibsha, called The Ghost. Shelby Oaks, Dark Match, which is on Shudder right now. That is a horror movie that also incorporates wrestling, the WWE style wrestling, not like the high school style wrestling. The Dead Thing, that's also on Shudder now. Parvulos,
is it?
Yeah, The Dead Thing is on Shudder. Parvulos, I'm not sure where that's playing. Grafted is also on Shudder. That's another Australian movie. Some have compared it to The Substance because it has similar themes in it, and there is a little bit of body horror in there as well. It's also a female director and writer, so I thought it was a pretty good effort. Frawaka is another Gaelic horror film. So that's the 2 Gaelic horror films that came out this year are Antibsha and Frawaka. I'm definitely looking forward to those. 40 Acres comes from, the history of what's owed to Black American people, the 40 Acres and a Mule that not everyone got. And I'm guessing it's that type of horror that incorporates American history into it. I am not sure what Hug and Molly is about. I think it's a witch. If I recall correctly, I think it's Hug and Molly's a witch. Bystanders just came on Shudder. That's available this week on Shudder. And I heard from Jen's reviews from the grave that it's a great film. Let me see. You know what? The twins told. First, Brian says, "Shit, what up, bro?" And then the twins say, "Just added that one to Plex." And Crimes of the Future. Thank you. That's the movie I'm talking about that had Alexander Skarsgård and
No,
Mia Goth. No, it's not Crimes of the
Infinity
Future.
Pool.
Infinity Pool. You're right. Infinity Pool.
I just looked it up.
Both of those, but Crimes of the Future is David Cronenberg, though. But Infinity Pool is his son.
Brandon.
Brandon Cronenberg. Tom Baker says, I like its Aboriginal actors. I'll check it out. I do too, because we rarely get to see them. The only time I've seen them were in a movie called Rabbit Proof Fence, and I forget the other one. And then there was also one with Maori people in it called We Once Were Kings. And those are like the only time I've seen Australasian, I think that's what they call it, Australasian people in movies. So I'd like to see that more. Here's another one that is on Shudder right now, The Rule of Jenny Penn. Now that one has John Lithgow in it. I'm not sure what type of movie it is because the trailer is super ambiguous. This is one I'm really looking forward to. What happened to Dorothy Bell? It just seems really. Let me read the synopsis because it seems really, really interesting to me. But it's not playing anywhere. Okay, it says, or have they updated it? Let me see. It's loading. No, it's not saying that it's playing anywhere yet. Ozzie Gray video documents her investigation into the traumatic events from her early childhood, which involve her late grandmother, Dorothy Bell. So let me restart that because that's pretty interesting.
So in what ways do you feel like your life has changed since learning of this new part of your past?
I have a whole lot of new questions. None of this really makes sense to me. I'm gonna be visiting the library that she died in.
You stay away from all that nonsense. Your grandmother was sick.
No,
that's what it was.
she was not.
There's nothing stressful going on in her life that would make her lose it. She wasn't loony, and my grandma wasn't a witch.
Well, what'd you think?
I love elder horror.
I think it's gonna give me nightmares.
I liked The Taking of Deborah Logan. I liked The Visit. I even liked that movie with Brandy where the lady kept pooping on herself. I forgot the name of it. But I liked it. Yes, Infinity Pool. Another one I'm looking forward to. Yeah, I have that on my list. Yes, can't wait for Dorothy Bell. Isn't Dorothy? Yeah, Wizard of Oz. Okay, what was it? Who's Watching? That's another one. 1978. This one seems really interesting and elusive. And I'm like, please get a distributor because it sounds so good. It says, during the World Cup final between Argentina and Holland, in times of military dictatorship, a group of torturers kidnap a group of young people. That sounds like a difficult watch. And then let me talk about Who's Watching. Let me see. Caleb is a metalhead loner who becomes obsessed with his new coworker, Krista. He begins invading every aspect of Krista's life as his infatuation escalates from inappropriate to criminal. And I'll leave that there. There's another one that I was looking forward to. Let me continue down the list here. Freelance. What the heck? Why did it do that? It's so weird. It just like jumped for some reason, and now I lost my spot. There it is, Freelance. Dino Gator, you know me. It's just on there because I'm silly like that. The Kilgren, Boneface, Werewolf Game, Skill House. That's another one that's what I call influencer horror, where they just have all these movies where they're just like killing influencers, and I enjoy that. Dark Nuns, anything with nuns I'm putting on my list. Companion, I saw Companion. I don't know if you got to see Companion. Very interesting movie. I enjoyed it. Together. This one looks, let me see if the teaser's here for Together. That one is on my watch list. That one seems like really body horror-ish. Come on, internet.
You love a good body horror.
Yes, I do. Yes, the front room. That's what I was talking about. Yep, that's how it starts. First, there's weird stuff in your mouth, and then it gets worse.
Love you.
Yeah, that looks like it's going to be good. I like the premise. I don't know why when I go back it doesn't. The internet will not let me be great today. You see what it keeps doing,
Just
right?
find together. Yes,
Okay,
but just find where we were.
Okay, Opus, that one's on my list. I heard different things. I heard some people thought it was good, some people thought it sucked. So there's that. The Nighttime World, I don't know much about. Hard Eyes, we already saw. The Bayou is another alligator attack movie. A Night's War. We did see The Monkey, which was somewhat interesting. Not as good as the Jolly Monkey. I think I like the Jolly Monkey better than the Monkey. Vicious, I don't have much information on it just yet. Revenge of the Boogeyman, don't know whether it is a tie-in with any other Boogeyman movie or not. Hollow Road, It Ends, Bloat is on my watch list. That's another social media type, not really social media, more of a computer screen horror, kind of like Searching, and was it Lost? Was the one with oh, I forgot the young lady's name. I think Lost and Searching were like similar movies with the computer screen thing. The Fetus. I want to see The Fetus. Why is it not playing anywhere? I need them to hurry up with that. Good Boy. Looks like it might be a Cujo type movie. Redux. Not sure what that is. Mermaid. I don't want to click on it because every time I click back, my computer jumps around, so I'm gonna leave it. Drop just came out. Just looks kind of mid to me. It doesn't look all that interesting. Clown in a Cornfield looks like it could be fun. So that's on higher on my watch list. This list is just compiled by release date. Ash looks somewhat interesting. The Parenting is actually available on HBO right now, or Max. And I watched The Parenting with my sisters. It's a horror comedy. I thought it was pretty interesting and funny, which is hard to do with horror comedies. Control Freak is on Hulu. That's on my watch list. It has a spider on it, but I have a feeling that's more of a possession film. Borderline is out now. I think that's still in movie theaters. Pabrik Gula is on some of the apps. Locked just came out. I think that's in movie theaters right now too. The movie theaters have been cranking them out. I heard about this one from you, TonyMan. The House Was Not Hungry Then. I just like the title.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I watched the trailer and it's basically 4 camera shots, the whole movie. Because then I started watching it. I started watching it just to see, and pretty much it's hallway, interior, like it's pretty weird.
I hope it's not as what's the one where it was just a guy filming the corners of the room?
No,
what was that called? It's not Tiddlywinks.
Skinamarink.
Skinamarink. Oh god, that was so bad.
No, it was no. From what I know about the movie, it's basically a woman. I guess she goes. There's a house, and it's hungry. It eats people. No, there's a woman that goes into this house that's being for I guess she goes and squats in it, maybe. Now don't quote me on this, but this is what I remember from reading the trailer thing. But she squats in there, and a realtor keeps coming in a house killing people.
Oh, interesting.
That's what but it's like literally 4 shots of a camera.
Woman in the Yard. I believe I went to see that one by myself. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, if you are the type of person that likes horror with metaphors, the way I would describe it is if you liked something like the Babadook, then you probably would like the Woman in the Yard. But if you did not like the Babadook, then maybe the Woman in the Yard would not be for you.
Didn't you review that on Scream Queens?
Yes, we did. We had a nice conversation with the Scream Kings and the Scream Queens about Woman in the Yard last month. It feeds. I just put that on my list because it came out this year, but I don't know much about it. 825 Forest Road, we talked about, 2 weeks ago on this show?
Yeah. Great
Marshmallow looks like it's going to be another slasher movie, which I'm here for. Notice how a lot of these were like, it says here that Marshmallow's already out, but it actually isn't, because some of these movies are not out in the US. They might be out in other countries, but they're not out in the US, or they might be out on a festival circuit, but they're not out for streaming yet. So that's why, as you can see, 825 Forest Road is on Shudder. Marshmallow is not streaming anywhere yet, and Sinners is at the movie theater, but they're all technically out. The Ritual looks like it's exorcism horror, but it looks like it might succeed, because not all exorcism horror is good. A lot of times they mess it up. They don't do it well. So hopefully, from what I saw in the trailer, it looks kind of creepy. We talked about Until Dawn. That's coming out tomorrow. Rosario will be coming out soon. I think, I'm not sure if it's next week or the week after next, but Rosario is another one where the girl has to stay in the apartment with her dead grandmother, and then weird stuff starts happening. Bring her back. That's what the twins just mentioned. Bring her back. That one looks creepy too. Very creepy trailer for Bring Her Back. Weapons has only a teaser, and it's just, see the little vision of the kid running with his arms out? That's like all the teaser is, just kids running with their arms out, but it's creepy for some reason. It really is kind of creepy. Oh, Him. You saw the trailer for Him, right? I think I showed it to you.
Yes. And I told you my philosophy behind that.
No, I think I'm going to play those 3 back to back. Or 4. I'm going to play Rosario, Bring Her Back, Weapons, and Him.
Right now?
Yeah. We'll do it real quick. This is Rosario. Maybe I'll just play the first minute of it, but not the full trailer. We'll do that so that we can get out of here. So I'll just play the first minute of each.
1, 2, 3,
One day, all your dreams are gonna come true.
I wouldn't have.
Not now.
Winter storm appears to have changed course. Experts are recommending to stay indoors.
Sí, abuela. Hello?
Your grandma, she's no longer with us. She passed.
Was she ill?
She's an old lady. She's falling apart, you know. Here we are. Be down the hall.
How about we don't? I'm not staying in the apartment with a dead body. Like, no. So that one is Rosario. Let me see if it jumps back to where. There we go. Okay. Then Bring Her Back. Also looked really, really creepy.
Damn.
What happened?
I'm sorry, while you were talking. Listen to this. All right. RLJE Films and Shudder slasher Clown in the Cornfield, based on Adam Cesari's novel of the same name, will stream exclusively in drive-ins across the United States for the weekend of May 2nd and 3rd.
Oh, wow. We got to find where there's a drive-in near here.
And then it's going to go into the release in May 9th. But it's going to be in the... damn, man.
That's cool.
This is-
I don't even know if there is a drive-in around here anymore. I gotta see.
I'm about to look it up.
Well,
Why?
here's
Why?
the first minute in to bring back.
Bring her back.
How did you cope with Kathy being gone?
I didn't. This is their new sister and brother, Oliver. Oliver lost his family just like you guys.
Oh, it sounds like it's also
You
Australian.
get someone that can keep in special care.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I've got to tell you a secret. It's like an angel. It's an angel.
All right, I'm gonna leave it right there. Haha, no spoilers. I think it's a good thing to do sometimes with trailers to only watch the first minute. Weapons is a teaser, and from what I saw, it was only 40 seconds. 45 seconds. There you go. This is the teaser.
Mr. Graff, I can understand your passion, and I don't mind having these conversations with you because, God forbid, if it was my child, I'd be demanding answers too. Those kids walked out of those homes. No one pulled them out. No one forced them. What do you see that I don't?
I just see some kids running in the night, and it's weird how they running with their arms out. It's super weird. But I watch it just to find out why they're running around with their arms out.
That's crazy.
Did I click back too far? No, I didn't. Okay, so where was I?
So, before you finish,
Mm-hmm.
there is Silver Moon Drive-In in Lakeland, which is an hour west of Orlando.
Oh,
and
wow.
Then there is another drive-in in Ocala.
In Ocala. That's still like an hour and a half to 2 hours.
I know. But
so I guess we won't be seeing it in the drive-in.
okay, so now, if you play this trailer, remember what I think my deduction.
Mm-hmm.
Shall I just say it out loud again so the chat can maybe agree or disagree?
I think you should say it after we watch the trailer.
Go for it.
Or the first minute of the trailer. This is
Go ahead.
Jordan Peele's next film. It's called Him.
Do you want this? I said, do you want this? If you want to transcend the game, you have to dig deep. Your mind and your body have to be in sync. Talent is how hard you're willing to work. No days off. No sleep. We grind. I'm never good enough. I'm never good enough. That's how great people think. So you're gonna have to ask yourself, what am I willing to sacrifice? This ain't a fucking game, man. This is everything. Do you want this? What are you willing to sacrifice? You fucking say it! Say it! Say it! Everything!
and show me.
Okay,
All right.
now, what is your theory about him?
Well, you know my theories. What did you think about what I said? But I'll just say it out loud. I feel that this movie, Marlon Wayans is the devil, and he's like, that movie with Al Pacino and
The Devil's
what
Advocate?
Devil's Advocate. It's something like that where Marlon Wayans is the devil, and this kid wants to be the best football player, and he sells his soul. Because the way he acts in this makes me feel like he's the devil. What do you think?
It could be. I noticed that in the description it says psychological horror, horror, and sport. So because it's psychological horror, because I thought it was going to be body horror. I actually wanted to be body horror because I was listening to a live stream where someone was talking about if they made a sequel to the Substance, that it should take place with a football player and an aging athlete who takes the serum to be a younger athlete. But
That'd
the
be
only
great.
problem, that would be great. But the only problem with the Substance is the whole 1 week on, 1 week off thing that doesn't work within a sports film because you can't take 1 week off from sports. They would have to have done what they could do is write into it that their serum has improved, so you don't have to take 1 week on, 1 week off. But there's a 3-month cap. You can only do it for 3 months, and that's it. Because a lot of the seasons are 3 to 4 months. So that's how I would rewrite it. So I was thinking, oh yeah, they could do a Substance type thing, but with a football player, and that would be really awesome. But it does not say body horror, it says psychological horror. So they can go a lot of directions with psychological horror.
Yep. Well, I'm
Tom
telling
Baker
you.
mentioned another one, Angel Heart. That's another one that has that deal with the devil type of thing with it.
Ah,
I need
yes.
to review that. I need to revisit Angel Heart because I've not seen that since I was a teenager, and I'd like to rewatch it with like an adult brain, fully frontal lobe. All right, let's finish this out because there was a couple more. See, Tom agrees with you. He says sold his soul.
Yeah, because he said, "How bad do you want it?" That tells me everything right there.
So I have on here Keeper. I actually thought I had removed Pinocchio to the other list. Pinocchio and Bambi. I put them on the public domain list. The Third Parent, Home, Casket Girls. I'm really excited about Casket Girls because it is it's based off of some New Orleans lore. We'll come back to it once we get more information on the movie. But Stiletto, don't know much about it, but I like the artwork and it looks pretty cool. I See the Demon, just the title alone, I'm here for it. The Devil's Teardrop and Disembodied is what I have on my list of original horror movies for 2025. Some of these might get pushed to 2026, it happens, but I am keeping a running tab of what movies are coming out this year, and I'm going to try my best to watch as many of them as possible. So many, like the twin said, so many films. But I think I think I'm marking off my list from the run of show. I think we went through everything this week. Yeah, I think that's it. I think we have a good night. There's a show. We started off shaky, but we ended up strong, and that's what matters. So let me take this off my screen. Do you have any final thoughts?
No, it was a great stream.
Yeah, my final thoughts is if you get the chance, go see Sinners on the biggest screen you can find. Because like I said, the amount of work and effort that Ryan Coogler put into that film is amazing. It has great practical effects, amazing music. You will enjoy yourself. Definitely. It is a ride. It's one of those films I think is probably not just the best of the year, but probably the best of the decade. Second to that, I definitely highly recommend The Ugly Stepsister if you get a chance to see that, because it definitely has one of those independent film feels, and I feel like a lot of it will go under a lot of people's radar because there isn't a whole lot of money for marketing for that type of film, and it really did take it took a more serious approach to the public domain horror. Like, yeah, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, it's funny, it's gory, it's, you know, we have some slasher in that, the Popeye movies, but I feel like the Ugly Stepsister is a cut above those films because they did take something that was public domain and they took something from the story, the original story that was, I guess, accurate to the original story, and just filtered it through a horror lens, and you get the Ugly Stepsister. Really, really beautiful.
You know what?
I'll go as far as to say I enjoy the Ugly Stepsister better than Nosferatu. That's my hot take of the day.
You must unsend it. No, you actually, I would have to say this is the second movie that I really was like, oh, just gotta go see it, and I enjoyed it. The first one was that other movie that we saw. Remember, I don't remember. It was a girl, and it was like a futuristic kind of movie, and it was like, but it was like old, and she made friends with some like some dude, but she was always banging this one guy. I don't remember the name of the movie, but she was like a robot. Remember? Or she was a clone.
Oh, I think you're a clone. Are you sure you're not thinking of Titan? Did she give birth to a car at the end?
No, that movie was horrible.
Oh, I like Titan. I didn't think it was that bad.
Though I did get the song from Johnny Cash from that movie. No, she was the old man. Remember his wife, and he put a brain in another body.
Oh, you're talking about oh gosh. Oh.
And she was learning.
Why can I can see her, and I can see her dancing in the movie. It's like a take on Frankenstein is what it is. It's a take on Frankenstein. Hold on. I'm going to Google the title. 2023 movie with a new take on Frankenstein. Poor Things. That's what it was called.
Yes. I actually really enjoyed that too. I remember we watched it and I was like, oh, this is going to be a weird movie. And then when we watched it, at the end, I was like, this was really good. Same with this Ugly Stepsister. I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to have to just try to maintain and go along for the ride. But I liked both of them.
And Poor Things has that almost the way the cinematography looks and how vibrant it was. It kind of reminded me of a is it a Paul Anderson movie? Is he the one that did the Royal Tenenbaums and
never saw it.
The Grand Budapest Hotel?
Never saw that either.
Trying to think of something you see. What about The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou?
Never saw that either.
Oh wow, you haven't seen any Paul. I think it's Paul W.S. Is it? Let me see. Director of the Grand Budapest Hotel. Make sure I'm saying his name right. Wes Anderson. That's who I'm trying to say. Wes Anderson. Not I was almost saying the wrong director. Wes Anderson movies. That's what Poor Things kind of reminded me of, a horror version of a Wes Anderson movie. Who directed Poor Things? I want to say it's Yorgos. Yeah, Yorgos Lanthimos directed Poor Things. And there's another director that Yorgos reminds me of. The director that did Nymphomaniac. Who directed Nymphomaniac? It's the same person that directed Antichrist. Hold on.
I honestly say
Lars von Trier. If you mixed Wes Anderson with Lars von Trier, then you would get Yorgos Lanthimos.
I've never seen any none of his movies. I'm looking at his movies now, and I've never seen any of them.
Okay, so we definitely have to get you on to. You didn't even see the Royal Tenenbaums?
Nope. I never saw any of them.
Paltrow had a wooden finger, and Ben Stiller and his whole family were wearing Adidas outfits.
You know how I remember these movies? The whatever that is.
Limited.
That the Royal Tenenbaums, Grand Budapest. Well, no, I'm sorry. The Royal Tenenbaums and that other one was when I worked at Blockbuster.
I'll tell you why you haven't seen these movies. It's because you go to bed early and you don't have insomnia. I have insomnia. These are the type of movies that come on the Independent Film Channel at 1 o'clock in the morning. So that's why I'm seeing these movies. They're 1 a.m. movies. Yeah.
I can sleep. In other words.
You can sleep, so you don't get to see these little gems that they play at 1 in the morning, or they used to back when cable TV was a thing. But yeah, I definitely recommend Poor Things. It would be make a good double feature with The Ugly Stepsister, because they're both twists on older stories. Because like I said, Poor Things is a twist on Frankenstein. I actually enjoyed that twist on Frankenstein even more than Lisa Frankenstein, which Lisa Frankenstein was a fun movie. Very, very fun movie. But I'm getting off topic. We need to get the heck out of here because I'm hungry and
I'm hungry as well.
Tired. Yeah, I gotta have dinner. But thank you guys for coming through. Like I said, the stream started off rough because of the internet, but we were able to recover, and I enjoy that for us. You'll have to come back next week to see what we talk about next. But thank you guys for coming through.
And like I said, if you're on here, leave questions, leave comments, please.
Leave suggestions. Is there
suggestions?
Something you want us to cover as a show? Leave some suggestions for us. We'd love to start compiling a list so that we can like really plan ahead. But have a good weekend. Oh, I almost forgot to show you guys something. Almost slipped my mind. Let me tell you guys, tomorrow night, I keep having to remind people, we are going to be live again tomorrow night for Voyage to the Bottom of the Barrel, but it will be on Master Chaos's channel. We are going to be talking about Werewolf Bitches from Outer Space and Dracula, a Vampire in Beijing. Both of those movies are available on Tubi right now. So we're going to watch those and discuss them because we talk about the worst of the worst movies. And we are going to be joined by Jen's Reviews from the Grave, and also Marty's Trash Fire Cinema will be joining us tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, and 2 a.m. Over in the UK. Hopefully I did the conversion correctly. But yes, please come back tomorrow night. We will be having a good time talking about horrible B-movie cinema. And with that, we will get out of here. Bye-bye.
Bye, Eddie.